everybody. This is Rose Gonzalez with Mindset Camp, and I'm so excited to share with you my friend Kim's journey. She's also known as Kimmi Couture and Mrs. CEO the Faja Queen. She's the owner of KJ Couture and is recently the radio personality for Q102.1 Midday in the Bay, hashtag Boss Babe. She was born and raised in Colombia and came here to the United States when she was 13 years old in hopes to fulfill her dream in the fashion industry. Kim executes her vision by building confidence and empowering women's lives. So thank you so much, Kim, for doing this with me.
Oh, no, I'm so excited to be here and honored. Thanks so much for doing this.
Yeah, absolutely. So tell everybody a little bit about yourself, maybe your background and how you came about with KJ Couture, and just tell us about your journey.
Wow, it's been a long journey. Well, like you said, I came here at the age of 13 in hopes to fulfill my American dream. As many of us grow up in Latin America, we watch a lot of American television, and so I always hope that I one day will have that life. And I think at a very young age I visioned that, which is probably how I wound up here. But I came as a student, and I lived with a retired nurse from the Navy who opened her home to me, and she spoke no English. No English. She spoke no Spanish. I spoke no English, and it was a very interesting setup coming here to America. But she taught me a lot. She ended up opening her home for an additional 4 years, which allowed me to go through high school, and I went to school, met my baby daddy, or my ex-husband, and we have a beautiful daughter. But I got married very young, at the age of 20, and I had Hunter very young. So things happen, we go through changes in life, and things didn't work out. And it was around that time when I knew that there was more to life than what I was living, than working at a bank, and never able to see my daughter because I was just working so many hours, and my daughter was at a childcare all the time. So it was hard, especially because now we were separated and divorced and the whole nine. So at that time, the bank where I was working at decided to ask me to work on Sundays. I was like, what? That's my only day off. Like, that's my only day to be with my baby, and I still have to share her every other Sunday. Then what about the other Sunday? It was hard. I was suffering depression at this point because it was a war between working and making money or being with my daughter. And I have to be honest with you, not a lot of that has changed with the business that I run. But I have found ways to manage that. So with that came the whole idea of starting something up with my friend. And at the time, she kind of had the idea of starting kind of like a boutique as well. So we both were kind of going on the same direction, and we started selling bathing suits.
We will go made them.
Yeah. I actually, see, that all goes back to, I was single now, and I started to date. So my boyfriend and I will go out to parties in Vegas and stuff like that. And I always noticed that, I will spend like $200 to $300 on a huge beach bunny bikini or Lulu, like something. There will be like 10 other girls wearing the same bathing suit.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, so there's no exclusivity. There's no uniqueness,
Yeah.
right? So that's when I decided to just kind of start putting stones on mine and ribbons and little different things, and people kind of ask me like, oh, where did you get it? But I always tell them it literally took me 3 months to make this.
Yeah.
I knew I was gonna come here, So it takes a long time to make one bathing suit. But that's kind of what got my interest into becoming an entrepreneur. I knew I was able to make something and create something that grabbed someone's attention, And at the time, my friend too, she was like, oh, that's pretty cool. We should do something like that. I want to have a swimsuit boutique, and you can bring your designs and whatnot. So like I said, we were both going in the same direction, and it just naturally and organically happened. With time, as we had made our first collection of bathing suits and accessories, um, we went to different shops and asked people to consign them.
Okay.
And we will leave them there in hopes that somebody will buy them, and then once a month we will go and pick up the money from each place. And this was way far before we had even a website or anything.
Oh, wow.
We were in a garage.
Yeah.
But I love always telling the story because it's we all start small, and it all starts somewhere.
Yeah.
And it all starts with an idea and recognizing that you have a passion for it. Because I always say, like, the earlier that you find out that you have a little passion for something, like, grab onto that and hold on to it, because if you nurture that, it really grows.
Yeah.
I always say, like, if you have seeds of greatness and you water them, they grow into big, amazing things.
I mean, how many people go through their everyday lives that are not doing what they're passionate about, right? And for you to be able to do what you love and make it grow, and it just kind of brings that joy. And you don't wake up on Monday going, oh, I have to go to work, I'm sure, right?
Yeah.
You're probably excited to do the things that you're doing.
It's different. It doesn't feel like a drag. It's a different feeling.
Yeah.
It is also a different feeling because it's what you got to do to pay your bills. No matter what, but it's a little different when it's something that you really love.
Yeah.
But ending up in the whole shapewear, it was probably like the biggest twist because I always used shapewear. I mean, I'm originally from Colombia, and in Colombia we're known for plastic surgery, so it's natural the woman they have to use these compression garments after surgery. But many years ago it was proven that without going through surgery, when you wear compression garments, your body over time molds to it, because we're like clay, if you want to say. Fat moves to places where there's room, and if you compress it in certain areas, well, fat is not longer going to grow there. So I've always used shapewear, and especially after having my daughter, because I ate for two, and I always tell people this. I was like, I don't know why they say this. You should never eat for two. That's not right. I will eat 2 bagels every morning. I'm not kidding.
Well, I did the same thing with my 3 kids. I ate whatever I wanted, but with this last one, I actually, knew a little bit more about.
You worked out through it.
Yeah.
I saw you, girl. I know.
Yeah.
I was like, and that's what I'm saying. I was like I said, I was a young mom. I was stupid. I took my mom's advice, perhaps not my mom's advice, but everybody else who was like, you need to eat for 2.
Yeah.
So I did, and that put 65 pounds on my 5'3" frame.
I can't picture you getting.
Oh my God, no! There's pictures of me. My sister has, sometimes she sends me the pictures. I post them sometimes.
Yeah.
It's not very cute. I don't know what happened, but I know what happened. I ate for 2. But I put a faja right after I had my baby.
Is it like me where I can't zip it all the way or button it all the way up? I have my faja like this right now.
Well, girl, it was honestly, first of all, I was miserable, but I didn't want to admit it, okay? Because I wanted to feel so happy for having this brand new baby. And I felt like I was being selfish by thinking about my body.
Yeah.
And I can't say this without feeling tears, because I felt at that time that how can I not love myself enough to know that, I'm feeling these. And I didn't want to say anything until my mom, 3 months went by, and I really have not lost much weight. First of all, when I came out of the hospital, they didn't tell me I was still going to look pregnant. So that was like the most
you're like, what's going on?
Like, what is it with Angelina Jolie and all these people having babies, and they bounce back and all of these, So it was like a reality of motherhood hit me there. but also the hormones. I was so emotional. I didn't want to tell my husband at the time that I was feeling like this, and he didn't want to say like yes, you need to go work out. I've never been the kind that works out. I I always give like the most props to people that wake up every morning and start working out because my workout is wearing fajas.
Yep.
That's kind of what I do. And I'm very busy. I'm very active, and I move a lot, and I'm always like running around. But I don't know. It just happened when my mom was like, "Listen, you're not losing the weight, and like, what are you doing?" And I was like, "Well, Mom, look at my stomach. It just looks deformed. I have all these stretch marks. It's like loose, like it's like flopping over. Like I was like, what is? I was like,
What
I
happened?
don't know." And she said, "You need a faja." And I was like, "Ah, that's for old ladies."
Yeah.
That's what I thought. I was like, "That's for the old ladies. Like that's like 1800s, Mom. Like people in America don't do that." She said, "Well, then stay like that and be miserable." And my mom sometimes is brutally honest.
Yeah.
And I love her for that. And I was like, okay, fine. Get me a faja. So my sister sent me a faja from Colombia. And I felt like a sausage.
That's how I felt this morning.
I felt like a sausage. That's the only way I can describe that. It's like being like, and I had like things sticking out from other places, but in 3 months later, like in 6 months, so I had my daughter in May. When September came, we were going to Miami. That was gonna be like our getaway.
Girl,
I was back to like
wow.
good old me.
Wow.
And I was so excited. I almost felt like I was a little extra skinnier than before.
Yeah.
But it felt good.
Yeah.
And I don't know, it was just like the fajas that I wore, and that was just like my secret. Nobody really will ask me, and those who will ask me will be like, "Oh yeah, this one." I'm like, "Oh, that's really cool." Like, where did you get it and stuff like that. And I'm like, I got it from Colombia, and that would be it. But when Janine and I had started the bathing suit, we needed models, and models, or cute ones, are like good ones are expensive, right?
Yeah.
Especially if you want something professional. So at the time, we obviously didn't have the budget for it and stuff. And well, we did get some girls to do it. We eventually figured out that making ourselves the faces was going to be more cost effective, and it just worked out. So I showed up with my faja on, and she was like, "What are you wearing?"
So
Well,
she didn't know that you wore this?
No,
Okay.
no. She never knew, and she also didn't know that I would wear a booty lifter under. Like, she never knew these things. It was my secret. It was like, honestly, it was a secret for a long time. Nobody knew this.
Yeah.
It was my secret. My husband and my boyfriend, whoever knew.
Right.
Like, that's very personal, you
Yeah.
know? But now it is not. Now everybody knows.
Yeah.
And that's kind of what it was, the thing. When that happened, she got curious. And so she was in a fitness competition because, like, we were very
yeah.
opposite. Like, she's like a super, like, fitness person, like over here, like cheeseburgers, and donuts, like I have my faja on, so I
Yeah,
don't
you're
know.
like the donuts and the hamburgers will just go through.
Exactly, just makes my ass bigger. But she got curious, and she decided to order something very similar to it online. And she wore it.
From Colombia?
Not
or-
from Colombia. Not from Colombia. I think she got something on Amazon. It's very similar, but it was like a, I guess you could say like a sweat belt.
Oh, okay.
But the same thing. She lost an inch in a week.
Wow.
And she was like, that thing, where did you buy them? Where did you get them? Like, we need to sell those, And I was like, what? It's like, girl, this thing is like 5 years old. I came from Colombia. Like, what are you talking about? I ain't telling nobody I was wearing this.
Yeah.
What? What are you doing? And this was way before Kim Kardashian, and this was very mainstream. So I was like, wait a minute, why didn't you tell my sister? Like, okay, I don't know about this. She's like, no, I think we should. So I ordered some fajas from Colombia, one of each size, and we did a little pop-up shop at a friend's house. And we brought the fajas that day, and we sold more fajas than bathing suits.
Wow.
And the people who bought the bathing suits obviously bought the fajas, being like, I'm gonna wear this thing and I'm gonna fit into this bathing suit, and that's like my plan, So, so that's kind of how it started to happen with our waist trainers taking over the whole bathing suit and becoming more of a shapewear movement and a curve movement, and knowing that there's something out there, because thanks to her, it helped me realize that perhaps I was not alone the whole time. That there has been many women that have felt like this, that have looked in the mirror and had not felt like, it had felt like a train ran you over.
Yeah.
Like, what? Yeah. But you give life to this beautiful, cute, like little cute baby, and you're like, no, I can think of myself. It's not right.
Right.
So guilt always hits, and KJ Couture has really helped me open so many doors in a way that I have not longer felt like I'm alone out there, and that I have found something that helps other women, and that it has been a contribution of many women that have made my business happen, because this is not about me and my friend who started it, or me who's now here, because she has moved on to other things, but it takes an army to do these, and I have an amazing team. Katie has always been by my side. I have other, my family who works here too, and I am so grateful that I have that support, because that's very important. There's no way in hell I can do it alone.
Yeah.
I'll be lying if I tell you I do all of this alone, because I can't.
Yeah, I mean, you're all over the place. I mean, speaking of all over the place, I mean, you have this beautiful boutique. You have a daughter. How old is she now?
She just turned 10 in April.
She turned 10 in April.
She's 10 and a half now. She just reminds me.
Pretty soon they'll be like 10 and 3/4.
11 already. It's only 4 months before.
Yeah. But you're also doing Q102.1. So tell everybody how that happened. Like, I just saw you all of a sudden, on the radio station with your headphones on, going live on Instagram, eating a donut. I'm like, this girl right here.